Today we will be taking a look at the I180 S. I'm going to be starting off with a lot of highlights, reversals, dogfights, that kind of good stuff. If you're more interested in the full game, I got a 7-kill game at around 12 minutes. It's also a night map, so when you see that, you know that, well, the full game is going to start. But I'm going to start with the actual highlights, because I think they have a lot more value since I'm flying low tier. And we all know that at low tier, most people aren't the best pilots. So getting a high kill game isn't really that impressive. Rather, I just focus on me having horrible aim right here and showing off what this plane can do, because I think that is a lot more interesting than me flying around killing some people that don't notice me. So here we have it. I think this plane is absolutely fantastic. This is some of the most fun I've had in a while. And if you know me, I don't really enjoy low tier normally, but the I180 S, I don't know, I fell in love. There's a fantastic turn time, the climb rate is exceptional as well. Of course at low altitude it's not that great, it's still good, it's still very good. The strength lies in the fact that you can go up and it doesn't lose any power, or at least it feels like that. It feels a bit like a P-47 in that regard. And here you can see me dogfighting with a Spit, and it's a Mark V, which is quite maneuverable. But because this thing literally doesn't compress, I can pull 12 Gs at 500 kph, which is actually a bit stupid. So I'm just gonna turn fire with him. I don't lose any speed whatsoever. I'm still going 500. Of course now I'm going vertical. I lose a bit. He flies into my guns. He's pretty much going like 200, 150. Easy shot. I kill his engine. I'm gonna park up right behind him. Get some hits. And that's Russian 50 cals for you. Yeah, I'm loving this thing. Just again, rundown. Not very fast. Climbs very well. Turns very well. Retention is pretty good. Like, it's really good. Feels like a bit like a mini T152H, where you're not very fast, but the speed you have, you maintain. But the climb rate of this thing is very, very good as well. So it feels a bit like the ultimate 1v1 plane in that regard. Of course, when you're fighting a Zero, or you know, those kind of play, Ki-43s, you might struggle a bit. Like, I don't advise you to turn fight those. But in general, you can get away with turn fighting pretty much everything German and pretty much everything Allied. Like even Spitfires, Mark II Bs, if they don't have web, you're gonna kill them. Here I was waiting for him to kill the E4, but it looks like it's not going to happen. So I want to get him out because it's about to turn into a 3v1. So I set him on fire, he can get the kill, I don't care any less. Spitfire is going head on as planned with the other I180S because he was closer to him. So I can easily shoot him from the side. So now it's a 1v1. And we all know that the 109 F4 is an amazing aircraft. Of course it overheats a bit, but we're on a snow map and I think he just took off. But that's not relevant. I'm just gonna pitch up for him, because this thing has some really good maneuverability, as you can see. I just could cut into his loop pretty much twice in one pitch. He's going back up. He's breaking up some he's getting some separation, because well, he had a lot more speed. He's trying to stall me out. It doesn't really work in this thing, because you can see I'm going 140. I'm still nosing up without my flaps. The flaps on this thing are really strong. The problem is that they retract kind of slowly, and when you rip the flaps you really do suffer, because the flaps on this thing are pretty much your livestock. Try to predict his roll. He predicted me maybe, or he did something different. But it doesn't matter, because the I180 S is an absolute UFO. Of course I only have 7.7s here, and the 109s are quite durable. And sadly that's the only game I lost, and that's because the bases got bombed out by BVs. Trying to bait the P-51 into a dogfight by turning in front of him, because I know that I can easily reverse him. So I'm just gonna sit in front of him, don't lay off the web, because I don't need to. And he's in front of me. Of course the problem is that, well, he's a lot faster, but when someone's on fire, it doesn't really matter how fast they are. He actually did put the fire out. Kinda sad. Someone stole it. But you know, it's a reversal nonetheless, so I'm gonna showcase it. I want to be as aggressive as you can on this thing. I turn in front of people on purpose, just so they get cocky, just so they think, oh, I can get the shot. And you see, it's a 109 E7, and the E7 is very maneuverable, as we all know, and I just pretty much one-turned him. Drop my flaps a bit, take off. I don't need landing, that's just extra drag. I'm just gonna go up. Doesn't stall at all, and Russian 50 cals. This thing is some good fun. So if you haven't picked it up or you have it in your bank, I advise you to use it. It's amazing. I love it. Because I have some energy advantage and I'm 6 kilometers and I'm pushing 400 IS. It honestly feels like the performance with altitude doesn't change. Top speed, IS is the same, or roughly the same. The climb rate is still exceptional. Look at this. I'm dropping my flaps. Of course you want to pull them in time, because otherwise you're going to rip them off by going down. This time I actually took a bit too long, but luckily at high altitude it's not very much of a problem. So I just dropped my throttle, and this thing doesn't gain any speed when you drop the throttle because, well, it's very slow. Spitfire damage models. They're made out of wood, but I don't know. Of course, this time I'm using just MGs. But we all know that this isn't like the first time you see this happen, even with cannons. Even when you fly the FU-4B and you have 4 of those A&M trees, that's still gonna happen to a Spitfire. But he has no tail, he's gonna spin out and he's gonna bail out for me, and that's another kill. P40, not very much of an impressive kill, but it shows what this thing can do nonetheless. I'm gonna dive in, try to go full dodge on his head on, because I have all the advantages in the world. I have no need to dodge or to full commit with him. He's trying to do a flat turn to get under me, but I'm still going 400 because this thing doesn't lose any speed. And then I miss everything even though it's barely moving. And then again Russian 50 cals. More of a team scenario. I'm gonna drop my throttle for a bit. And then realize this thing doesn't actually compress. And here I'm going 700. So keep in mind, this thing is 3.0, 700, 13 Gs. Yes, you saw that correctly. 13 Gs at still 12 minutes of fuel. That's actually disgusting. I have all the speed in the world to dodge this P51. I have a teammate with me as well. So I'm not too worried, so I can do these very wide dodges to be safe. I'm going to loop over and see what target I want to go for. The P51 looks to be pitching up, but he has way too little energy. I pull back down on top of him. I miss most of my shots with a bit of bad RNG, and he didn't die, but that's fine. I'm gonna go up. Keep in mind with the P51, because I don't want him to cut me off, but there's no way he's gonna get into me here. So I'm gonna go for him first, because that guy actually will outturn me, and it's quite annoying. And that's the gunner that hit me. P51 gets, P39 gets cleaned up by my teammate, and I clean up the P51. That's pretty much on 0 energy. And here we start getting more into the full game categories. This is still not really a full game, but this is more of the game that I'm going to ramble a bit in, explain what you can and can't do in this thing, and what you kind of have to be aware of, like what planes. Because say for example the F2A Buffalo, it's pretty much the counter of this thing. You climb a bit better, and that's about it. He's faster than you, he will outturn you. Also because he loses more speed, so he can just UFO on your ass, and of course he has those 350 cals at 2.7. Buffalo is another plane that I actually kind of liked, because it's kind of similar to this thing, but this thing feels more fair, in a sense. It's not really fair, but at the same time it is, because it's very, very slow. But, you know, it's 3.0, you get 2.0 games, you get 4.0 games. 4.0 games are a bit more difficult, because people actually know how to play. When you get down to 2.0 or 3.0, yeah, a lot of chances are that you're just gonna club. Because people don't really know how to abuse top speed. Most people try to dogfight, especially Spitfires and everything the like. Of course, when you get a 0 on you, and 0 will actually outrun you, and you don't want to fuck with that thing. You really don't. Alright, so now we got a bit of a situation. I have 2 people on the deck, one just died, so I have 1 friendly left down here. And there's me with some altitude. Who do I engage first? I see a Spitfire, I see a P40. Those don't really scare me. Of course, it depends on what they are going to do. I also know that there's an Aces pilot in here, and I'm not sure if he's actually good or not, but Aces used to be a very good air squadron. So I want to be aware of him, and I don't want him to climb above me. B-34. B-34 is another plane you actually don't want to mess with, because those gunners really screw you up. P39, that is priority for me. He's very fast, and that's the boomerang. So right now I'm debating, do I go for the better plane or do I go for the better player? He might not be good, but he's definitely going to be experienced, otherwise you're not going to be in that squadron. P39. He is very slow, he's trying to turn, he's going up. So I'm gonna switch targets. He's not very much of a problem right now, and I'm quite confident that I can out-dogfight a boomerang in this thing. Of course, I've never fought a boomerang before at this point in the game, so I can't tell for sure, but I'm gonna be confident I can. Rather, what I do is I'm gonna go for the P39 and the Spitfire. And why do I do this? Because they are busy with a teammate. And when people are busy with a teammate, they're mostly easier kills. The P40 is RTB and he's gonna crash later on. Of course I don't know that yet. And the P39 killed my friend, which isn't good. But my friend also killed the Spitfire. So at this point I have way more energy than the P39. The P39 is one of the fastest planes in this VR, especially on the deck. So I want to get him out of the game. I don't want him to run away and boom and zoom me as I dogfight the Aces guy. Or when I dogfight him, I get boom and zoomed a bit later after we kill my friend. The boomerang turns right in front of me, which is of course a big mistake. He probably thought that he could easily out-dogfight me, because the I-180 S isn't something that's flown a lot. And the boomerang is very maneuverable, so he probably thought he could out-dogfight me and reverse me. Which would have been the case in a lot of planes, but not in this thing. And here we have it, the full game. Do keep in mind, I got a bit lucky in this one, and it's a night battle, so if you don't really care, I'm not gonna say much important stuff. I'm just gonna play out the game I had, explain what I did. So if that interests you, feel free to stick around, and otherwise, well, I don't mind it, and I'll see you in the next one. So what do I do first? There's 4 people down here, and they're all unspotted. So what do? You go for the one that's spotted. But the P39 shows up, and the P39 always has priority for me. Crit him, I don't know what I crit. Well, of course a left wing, but it looks like I hit the tail, so I'm not sure if it actually damaged that much. I'm just gonna extend away for a little bit, and then slowly convert my speed into altitude. Normally I'd go straight up, but you know, I have 2 people right on my ass, and I can't see the other 2, so I don't want to risk it. F4F, absolute joke of a plane, but if he's gonna fly in front of me, then I'll crit him nonetheless, or at least try to. He's on fire, and he's probably gonna burn up, and there he goes, and that's the first one. Go up, it looks like they're all focused on the IL-2 now. I am using him as bait, because he's probably the only spotted guy over there, and it's a bit like flies on a light. It's the only thing they can see, and it's the only thing they will engage. And you can see on the scoreboard right there that our team isn't looking very good. Normally I would climb, but I want to get there as fast as I can, and I want some speed in case I get jumped, because it's still a night map. Second guy, third guy over there. D520 is stalling in my guns. The Spitfire is very slow, so I have time to dodge him after I get the kill. Or set him on fire, he's not dead yet. I'm going to loop over, because that P40 has no chance of getting to me. He probably doesn't even see me. Miss my shot. Miss a bit more. Crit him. And he's on fire. And off we go. Spitfire is way too slow to do anything versus me, and there's 2 friendlies right on his ass. And that's the D520, and that's the P40F. Spitfire is burning. He is not going to survive that, and we're going to climb away for a bit. And that's 3. But they still have a lot of people left. You want to be careful with climbing like this, because I know there is someone else in the area. Of course I don't know where he is, but you can start hearing an engine. There he is. A36. Not the biggest problem in the world. And there goes the P39 I crit earlier as well. Not the biggest problem in A36, but he has a lot more energy over me, and he's a lot faster than me. I wanted to pitch up for me and hope that he would loop over to drop back down on my teammate, but he didn't. It's still risky, and I don't advise you doing that. But I have to kill a lot of people, as you can see on the map, or on the match scoreboard thing. So at this point I'm just gonna extend, just gonna go straight through it, and then see if he engages me. But it looks like that's not the case. So I'm gonna skip forward a bit, because this is absolutely dreadful. If I sound a bit different, that might be the case, because it's 2 hours later now. Sorry for that, but normally I don't want to cut out too much anymore, but I'm on the other side of the map, and the A26 that I was waiting for to engage me, he flew away. He went all the way back to base. So I don't want to show you, like, I think it was like 5 or 6 minutes of me just flying around without web. So consider flying to the other side of Ruhr with 400 kph. So you can maybe understand now why I cut it out. But there's a guy right here. I'm going about 530. It's hard to read right now. This is my preview. And he's gonna go head on probably. Oh, he's not gonna see me. But it's dark, he's slow, and I just set him on fire and I blast him out of the air. And this is why Ruhr went to one of my favorite maps, to one of my most hated maps. When you're on the Allied side, yes, that's the AA. On the right side you can see the main base, on the left you can see the auxiliary base. Behind me there is a bomb target which also has AA. In front of me are 2 bomb targets that also have AA. Then you have the A flag on the left, which also has, you guessed it, AA. And there's some random AA in between all of these bases as well. And we all know how it is when you go about 400 kph and AA starts to hammer you. Yes, oil leaks. I don't have them right now, but you can see the amount of red on the map, everything has AA. At higher tiers it's not much of a problem, but the A point, and you're gonna see this, because I don't want to go over the A point, you can see me navigating through it. What I am trying to do here is, well, I have to get RTB. I don't have a lot of fuel, and there's still some people left. I'm just going to shoot this one AA unit to lower the AA intensity a little bit, but of course it's not going to do much. What I'm doing here is I'm going around A point, because the amount of AA on that point is absolutely insane, especially at low tier. So I want to get a bit of an arc around it and then go to our auxiliary base, which I should be, like, I should reach it with like 1 minute, maybe 40 seconds left. But then they pop an adventure and I got spotted, which isn't the ideal situation. I still have quite a way to go, and I'm trying to save my fuel, drop the throttle a little bit, go like 75%, but I want to go on the deck and I want to go as fast as I can, but this thing isn't very fast. So there was a big butt clench for me, because I still have quite a bit to go. I'm spotted now, I know this. At least I have a friendly right with me, and there is the A26 from before. I'm going to web a little bit just to get a little bit of extra speed, just so I have that speed to dodge his shots. Trying to go for the reversal, he's right in front of me, but I couldn't get the shot. And what do? I instantly level back out, lay off the web because it consumes way too much fuel, and I'm straight to base. And on my left hand, well now it's right, there we go, on my left hand side is the A point. And every little red thingy, out of every 3 red things, there's 1 that's an AA. And there's more, some trucks. It's fucking lovely. Still not laying on the web, because, well, I don't want to waste my fuel. I'm gonna turn in front of him here. I want him to engage me. I want him very badly to engage me. If he had boom and zoomed me right here, I would have lost, or I would have died. Set him on fire, 1 shot, very lucky, but you know, Russian 50 cals. And there's one of these AAs I really want to kill, because the 20mm AA is really painful, as we all know. He's on fire, he gets crit, and then this happens. And you can see my speed is very low. I'm going 320 on 63%, and he's starting to catch me. And at this point I'm like, I'm going to die here. And then suddenly, saw it on the bottom right, suffers damage of fuel tank. He's out of fuel. That's why I put the fire out. All this fuel burned up. And he's dry, he's bingo, and he's gonna crash right into a tree. Perfect. And now I have 18 seconds of fuel left. There's 2 enemies, which I don't know what they are. But it was very clutch. I have 15 seconds and on 60%, that should around last me about 25-30 seconds. Just doing the math on my head, so you can correct me down below. 45%, so now it's more than 20 seconds. At least, I hope that's the way it works. It should be the way it works. Normally I wouldn't include landings, but I mean, someone asked me to showcase some landings in my videos. I have no idea why he wants to see this, but there you go. Here's gonna be a landing on barely any fuel. This is probably the most eventful landing I've had in a while, which isn't saying a lot. In general, I don't really land a lot. I either die or I lose on tickets, as we all do. There we have it. 6 seconds of fuel and I can land it just fine. I hope you enjoyed the landing. I hope you are going to enjoy the landing. Be careful with landing this thing though, because if you brake too hard you will flip over and there's a chance you will die. Luckily I didn't, but it's an open cockpit, so when you slam onto the ground with 100 kph, you can imagine that your neck isn't going to like that. And there you have it, a landing. I'm gonna cut forward a little bit because I've been climbing for about 5 minutes by now, which isn't the most fun part of the game. I popped a blind hunt and he started climbing away. Luckily for me it's a Mark 1A and I can easily outclimb him. The only problem is that he just disappeared because the Avenger ran out. Or the blind hunt, I'm sorry. So I'm trying to climb after him, I'm trying to locate his sounds. Like the directional sounds in this game aren't the best. So it sounds for me like he's right in front of me. So I'm just gonna pitch to there and hope I'll wait till I intercept him. And it's just, I can't find him. I have a good headset, I have a good audio installation, and still it doesn't work. And it's one of my biggest gripes in this game, just clouds. When you get close, the silhouette of the plane disappears, you can't really see him anymore, and all you have to do is rely on sound. But you can't really rely on sound because it doesn't work properly. So at this point I'm just trying to debate what I'm going to do. Am I going to help the B-34 or kill the B-34, because he's going to be actually a pain to kill on my own. The P-39 is pressuring him, so I'm thinking yes, I'm going to go for the B-34, I'm going to help him out. The B-34 is an absolute tank, it has a very good turn rate, and it actually, yes, it actually outruns me. P-34 turret with a plane that's faster than you with turrets is one of the most frustrating things to fight, especially when they don't die. Junker 288. And the Spitfire starts killing ground targets. And that's why I lost him, he dove to the deck. So now I'm very close to the Spitfire, so I want to kill him first because I don't want him to fly away and then I'll lose him again. So right now I'm looking for the vehicle groups. There's 3 vehicle groups. He killed 2. That one has 4 left. 3 left now. 2 left now. And you can see that he's right over there. The vehicle groups always, and I mean always, have 6 trucks. So when you see someone starts to kill them, just look for a group that has less than 6. And you're mostly right on the money. Of course in this case I can just see his tracers, which makes it a lot easier. But he's a Spitfire Mark 1A. He was ground pounding. He's probably very slow. And he is. He didn't see me, so I easily killed him here. Not like it would have mattered. It's a Mark 1A and he's slow on the deck. So even if he did see me, he would have died in 1 or 2 turns anyways. B-39 is shooting at the B-34. I was hoping he was going to get killed on a very selfish note that I would get an 8 kill game. But you know, I'm going to settle for 7. I'm going to tank that guy because he saved my butt twice. He killed 3 people, I killed 7. We pretty much killed the whole team on our own. Thank you all for watching. If you do enjoy this new type, all the highlights at the start, full game at the end, let me know in the comments down below. And I'll see you in the next one.